We are in the heart of the Gulch, but as you can see, we're at the MCC, the Music City Center, over here at CMA Fest. So we got Madeline Merlo in the building.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here. Excited CMA Fest. Such a great week.
It's one of the best weeks of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And, one thing I'm going to bring up, because I saw you working out on all of the bandanas.
Yes.
Did you bring them with you this time?
I don't have them with me today, but I'll have them tomorrow, though, for
good.
sure.
That's what you need, because I saw you were like pressing all of them.
I was steaming them, yeah, because they came, I wanted to see them, and they came all really like pressed down, and they just smelled like kind of like chemically, and I was like, it was pretty fragrant, and so I was like, I wouldn't want to like put this on and then just smell this like chemical smell. So I'm like, oh, I'll just wash them. So I washed like a million bandanas in my like home wash machine, and they all came out of the dryer and they were all wrinkly, and so I steamed like hundreds of bandanas.
Well, shout out to that, because I'm sure the fans are gonna love that.
They're hand steamed, baby. I love it.
Talk to me about Middle of the Bed and the new release that, well, it's not new, it's more than a visualizer, the whole music video.
Yeah, we put out the music video, but we did release a new version of it that it has a swear word in it, and so we put out one that doesn't have a swear word in it, so we sent it up to radio in Canada so they could play it without, offending the kids and the nanas and stuff like that. So we've got that out, and then we put a video with it as well.
So talk to me about that music video, because it's so... First of all, was it an air mattress?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was an air mattress in the middle of a field.
Yes.
But I was surprised how many angles they were able to get in that music video.
I know. Yeah, we definitely spent a few hours kind of shooting it from different things. And, I think just the setting, it was so beautiful with like the sky and the grass and there's flowers. And then originally we were going to put like a full bed out there. And then we were like, okay, maybe we'll do air mattresses, which was all fun and games until one was like deflating. Mm-hmm. So between takes, we were like
so you had multiple?
It up. Yeah, we had them like stacked on top of one another.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How hard was that? I feel like that'd be such a hard thing to like upkeep.
Yeah, well, one was deflating, and then they were also, you're kind of like wobbling around and stuff, so it was a lot of core strength. And then, we were like refilling them because I was like slowly like going in the mattress. But yeah, it turned out so good. Tristan Cusick shot it, and it was one of those things where sometimes with music videos, you put in so much like time and planning and effort, and you're like, oh, what about this, what about that? And this was something that I was like, I think this would be really beautiful. We had one look, you know what I mean? And we just went out there, just started messing around, and it turned out so beautiful. So
I love that, because people do not realize how challenging just to sleep on an air mattress is. To do a whole music video with two of them.
Absolutely,
challenging. Now, talk to me about how challenging it was for your Grand Ole Opry debut. I wanted to tell you this before we got on camera, but I'm gonna tell you this now. Your outfit, dude.
Thanks.
Fire.
Thank you so much. It was awesome. I was so nervous. I'm actually playing it next week.
Really?
Again, yeah. And I'm really excited for that, because I think I like blacked out the whole time. It's been like, I'm a really big goal setter.
Yes.
I've always been like that since I was a kid, writing them down. Like before I got my record deal down here, I had a bottle of champagne that was like sitting on my mantle, and I was going to pop it when I signed it.
I have the same thing, except it's bourbon. Except it's bourbon.
Yeah, so. I love that. And I had one for the Opry, and it sat there for a while, and one day, I'm going to play the Opry, I'm going to pop this bottle of champagne, and so to be able to do that was so huge. And I'm just such a fan of country music and the history of country music, and it's just like, it's so much around the Opry, so it just felt like such a huge moment, which was amazing. But like I said, I think I like blacked out because I was so
because
nervous.
A lot of people don't realize, and this is a story I've learned a lot from artists, is that when you hit on the Grand Ole Opry stage, there's something that takes over you.
Yeah.
And you feel like in tuned with like a spiritual being in a way. That's what Dylan Carmichael told me.
It's true.
Do you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very magical. There's so much, it's just a very, very, very special place. It's like you can feel the ghosts of the history, and there's a positivity and just like a reverence when you go in there. It's like joyful, but it's serious, and it's a church, and you step in the circle, and to be able to just like play and on the stage that really every great country and beyond have stood on, that I've just looked up to. You feel like the weight of that, and so it does really feel like this like super out of body experience.
You played the Ryman before, right?
Mm-mm.
Not yet?
No, never played.
We're putting that in the atmosphere.
Yes, that's the next one for sure.
Did you hear about the ghost of the Ryman?
I have heard about the ghost of the Ryman.
Can you let our fans know about the ghost of the Ryman?
Well, I don't know. I don't really know about the, like, I don't know the story, but I've just heard that there's, like, it's haunted. There's a ghost
So let me
there.
tell you.
Okay.
So it is actually, my gosh, now you got me confused on here, but there's a ghost that pops up, a very famous ghost, and it's only when you rehearse. He will only show up if you're killing it in your rehearsal.
Oh.
So it's
I love it.
and
A
I
judgmental ghost.
I'll make sure to put it down below on what ghost and the name of that is. I'm sorry that I forgot that. But let's go on to some
really
new
cool.
music though. So obviously you just released a music video.
Yeah.
But I know that you're busy and I know that you're constantly in the studio.
Yeah.
So what's been something that's inspired you lately to make a new music?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for me, I love writing songs more than anything, and especially when you finish a project and you put it out and it feels kind of like a bow is on it. It's like, okay, what do I want to say now, and what stories do I want to tell now, and what is it going to look like, what's it going to feel like? And so to be kind of in that like exploration zone is really exciting. There's also like a lot of pressure, and sometimes it's almost like I don't even want to like start, or I'm like, maybe this one. I'm like, no, I can't do that.
Well, they're
yet.
all your babies.
They really are, yeah.
So it's kind of hard to pick, your favorite child.
For sure.
But I want to know, out of your discography, what do you think is the most underrated song that you wish more people would go back to the Spotify and listen to?
I would say I have a song called Girl Where He Grew Up, and I think that didn't get enough hoopla. It really didn't. I love like the writing of it. The day that I wrote it was really magical. It felt like a big moment and a big song, and honestly, we put it on TikTok right after I wrote it, like just the demo, and it kind of blew up a bit, and then it just took, like, I think we just took too long to actually put it out, and so like people had forgotten about it, but it's just like, I don't know, I think it's really interesting, a cool perspective about, you're the girl that kind of helped this man or whatever your relationship, like you raised him almost, to be in a relationship, and I don't know, I think it's a cool song.
Well, I love that because I think a lot of people have their favorite songs, but no one ever asks about underrated songs that you, the artist, wanted more people to listen to.
Totally, yeah.
But you just had an EP release last October, right? And that EP, how did the run go? First of all, because you got the Grand Ole Opry right after you released it, right?
Yeah.
And then
the same week.
Where were you? Where was that shot at? Because it was on top of a house, right?
Yeah. So we rented a house to kind of, because it's called One House Down from the Girl Next Door, each song was filmed in like a different room of this one house, and then one of them was on the roof, which was so steep as well. I don't think we thought, like, when I was on it, I had like my foot kicked up, and literally if I wasn't doing that, I would have like tumbled off the roof. It was kind of intense.
It's wild because I remember seeing the album cover and I thought it was so striking.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
First of all, I'm curious to know about your visuals. Are you such a visual artist where when you go into the studio, do you visualize the song before you write it, or do you write the song and then the vision comes to you?
Sometimes it's like very obvious, but yeah, I'm such a visual learner. My whole team knows. I make like PowerPoints and like visual things to like get.
I do the same thing.
Really?
She knows that, yes.
That's like my favorite thing. I just feel like, every song has like a color scheme and like an idea, and that particular photo too, it was like when we were looking at what the cover of the EP was going to be, I wasn't really sure, but I had like an idea with another thing. I was like, I think it has like a butterfly, whatever. And then we took that shot on the roof, and I was like, oh no, that's it.
That's fire.
It. Yeah. Like kind of looking up, and it just felt like I knew right away that the whole color scheme and everything just represented what the music felt like.
Well, so I'm going to leave you with 2 more questions here. And then I have these fun, like, quick questions I was going to do. We're going to do a whole game, but you have no idea how long it took to do all this up here. So
it looks great.
Yeah, shout out to the girlfriend.
I love it. Shout out, girlfriend.
Now, okay, but speaking of which, though, so my second to last question has to do with imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Because I think it's super important that people out here realize that you guys go through imposter syndrome as well.
Totally.
But what are the mechanisms that you take to not let it affect you? And what can you give advice to the person that's watching this today that's going through imposter syndrome to not let it hit them?
Yes, I actually have been thinking about this a lot lately, because I definitely have imposter syndrome. And I think too, like, I just feel like I've been in this industry a long time, and I'm really grateful to be there. And I feel like just living in Nashville, like you can walk down the road and hear the best singer you've ever heard in your life. So like it's just such a like luck of the draw sometimes. And so there's just like imposter syndrome or like just being happy to be there kind of vibe. And I think when that gets too much, you start to defer to other people because you don't feel
100%.
like you belong there. Yes. So they might know better and they might know better. And well, what do you think? And I feel like I do that sometimes, and I'm trying to really like fight against it and be like, no, I know, you know what my fans want to see, or like I know better. And so sometimes when the imposter syndrome feels big, I'm like, there's a consequence to letting this get a little out of control.
100%.
But I think like humility is like a really important part of it because, like I said, there's just this town is filled with a million incredible people. So when things do kind of come your way, you get these opportunities. You gotta thank your lucky stars because like it really is a blessing.
It's amazing because you know it's crazy to think that what you create inspires so many people, and we don't even realize it. When you put a post down, you have 200,000 views on it. That's literally 200,000 people that you're inspiring every day. And I know it's kind of hard to think that, and it's weird to think that we do that.
Totally, yeah.
But the question that I wanted to lead to is really who inspires you every day to get up and do what you got to do?
You know, I think that, you know, I'm really inspired by strong women in my life, I would say. You know, like growing up, like it was Shania Twain or somebody like Dolly Parton, who's such like a business owner and philanthropist, and people that use their platforms for good and to help other people. So like those things inspire me. But like on a day to day, I would say like my husband is like my rock. Like he is honestly, like when I'm like down or confused or lost or whatever, he is just like my biggest cheerleader. And he's like, you got that. Like he's just such an encourager, and you need those people around you. So he's a really hard worker as well too. He busts his butt in his job and inspires me to do the same in mine.
Well, first off, before we head out of here, congratulations, because every single time that I see music come out, it's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I saw that you are slowly ramping up the stages at CMA Fest, so it's not going to be very long before we see you out in the Nissan Stadium.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And then, like I said, do you have any kind of snippets of upcoming music that you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, there's a few that there's one that I really kind of wanted on the last project, and then so that one just feels like something that I want to get out really soon. And then I just feel like there's a few that I'm really, really excited about. So I love it.
Well, Madeline, thank you so much for coming to Heart of the Gulch here in Nashville.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad we made it work.
We're still here in the Heart of the Gulch, and I'll see you guys next time. See y'all later.